welcome back to Bake Your Way Kitchen. On today's video I'm going to show you a quick and easy chocolate buttercream recipe. So what I've done here is I've put in 1/3 cup of confectioner sugar, 1 whole egg, about 2 teaspoons of espresso powder. You could turn that down or remove that completely if you don't want it. I also added about 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder and a pinch of salt. And what I'm going to do is just mix this all together till we get a nice paste. And I would continue to beat this just until it's all well incorporated. Our confectioner sugar with the coffee, a little bit of cocoa powder, our eggs. So just beat that up for a little bit. And there we go. And in the meantime, you're going to need to melt 1 ounce, 28 grams of bittersweet chocolate and 1 ounce of unsweetened chocolate. And if you notice at the store, the unsweetened chocolate, it's sold in those little squares. So I would just chop it in pieces, put it over a double boiler, or you can put it in a microwavable safe bowl. And I'll just show you. I did not follow my own instructions. I did not put a microwave-safe bowl in the microwave, resulting in a bowl that is extremely hot. So I would recommend just using a double boiler. So we got this mixture here, and what we're going to do is add in 3/4 cup of butter, and we're going to do this over a period of time, and it should be softened butter. And I would recommend using a hand mixer if you want. If you're up for it, you can use your hands, but like I'm doing here, just keep in mind you have to constantly be beating this in order for this to work. So you're going to need 3/4 cup of butter as I'm adding in, and I'm adding it in pieces, as you can see. Oops. Off. And then a chunk of this softened butter. So that results in about 85 grams. You really got to work at it if you're doing this. So I'm going to continue to add the butter, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Alright, so I've been beating this for about 5 or 10 minutes, probably somewhere in that range, and I've been adding in the butter, and this is what you should end up with. Now we're going to add in our chocolate. Here we go. Oh, that chocolate, it really smells delicious. There we go. And we're just simply going to beat this in. And once it's fully incorporated, we have a chocolate buttercream. And if you can go to my previous video, you'll see I did a chocolate almond sponge cake, and you can use this recipe for that. It doesn't make... If you're doing a large cake, you might want to consider doubling this recipe, but if you're doing too small, if you're just trying to frost just the top of a too small cake pan recipe, then this should work. This is the amount that you'll get, so if you feel you need more, you can easily double this. This is a very easy, as you can see, buttercream. Usually buttercream, it's such a pain to make, but this one's very easy. It's just requiring a lot of beating, so I'd recommend doing it with an electric mixer. But as you can see, you can easily do it by hand, and I gotta say, it does taste delicious. And I did have that bit of that coffee flavor kind of come through, but I really like that in a chocolate dessert. If you don't, as I mentioned earlier, you can easily leave that out. So here you are, chocolate buttercream, and if you stay tuned, I'm going to show you how to frost it on a delicious chocolate almond sponge cake. When your cake is cooled completely, you can put it on a cake pedestal or whatever you want, and I basically just invert it. I put over the cake pan, I invert it into a larger surface. And I've got my chocolate buttercream here, and I'm going to use just a little bit to start, maybe like, looks to be about a 1/4 cup, and you're just going to want to spread it out. I'm going to use a offset spatula if I've got one. Here we are. Sorry about that, I should have had that out. And you're just creating a thin layer here. Whoops, a little piece fell off, but that doesn't matter. It'll be covered up. I'm going to add a bit more. And you'll see that this consistency is perfect. This is exactly what we want. Let's take this out, it's causing too much trouble. Go. You can see how glossy the finish is on this buttercream. It's just wonderful. So that's our middle layer. Now we'll put our top layer on. So basically, just carefully invert it, just over the top, and peel back the parchment paper, like so, and kind of press it down firmly. Alright, now we're going to take the rest of our buttercream, what we've got. Alright, so I've done the top icing, and as a garnish you can just leave it as is with vanilla ice cream. You can dust it with confectioner's sugar or cocoa powder, or what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put some almonds around, because this is a chocolate almond cake. And I might add a bit of dusting of confectioner's sugar, but you can garnish it the way you want. And it's that simple. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I'll see you in the next video.